Are you an insurance agent that's looking at jumping in full force into the final expense insurance sales industry or life insurance sales for that matter? And you're like, what should I be looking out for? What is the downside here before I dive into this industry and start spending my dollars? Well, you found a very blunt video to give you those answers so that you can decide if you want to take action and jump in to this very simple business that is definitely not easy. So I'm going to give you two things in this video in just a couple minutes. And this is beyond just focus, all right? And you need focus for sure, or you will fail. But in final expense and in life insurance sales, if you got pen and paper, just giving you two chargebacks. Chargebacks are something that are really felt, and you don't always find out about chargebacks early on. You think, oh, it's an easy peasy business where I just sell policies and I get paid. The painful side of the industry is that when you write a policy that doesn't stick, doesn't stay. It's like nailing jello to a tree, all right? You just can't get that policy to stick because it went non-sufficient funds or they changed their mind and canceled on you. This happens to everybody. Doesn't matter if you're good, doesn't matter if you're not so good on the phone and you're brand new. You will have chargebacks, and that's where you were paid advanced money on that commission, and then the company calls that note and says, hey, it did not stick, pay it back. This is painful if you didn't know about this early on. And if you're doing good business, realistically, roughly around 20% of your business will fall off no matter how good you are. It's part of the process. So if you're writing $10,000 of annual premium, maybe 2,000 would fall off. That's normal. It's not a problem, but you want to see this with eyes wide open when you first jump in. Not everybody's going to stay with you. Not everybody's going to be good about paying their bills. You can say, hey, well, I'm just going to get a better lead and they're going to stick better. Different lead, exact same person. Final expense prospect is powerful, but they're not super wealthy. They don't have a ton of money. We do everything to take care of them, but they don't always take care of their bills the same way maybe you or I would. This is why it's so important to have true Social Security billing carriers so you're not a casualty of the chargebacks. All right. If you're writing the wrong carrier, you're going to find out they're paid on the first or the third. Watch the videos up above on how to handle true Social Security billing. I'll put the videos up above for you. Make sure you watch those. Those will assist you in this. But if you do the billing wrong, they're paid on the third. Third falls on a weekend. They were paid the Friday before. They're not going to have anything other than a non-sufficient funds charge. And I can't speak this morning, but it's going to happen to you. And that really hurts. So billing and setting them up on billing properly is the best way to mitigate some of the chargebacks. But another way to mitigate this when you're first trying to make money in final expense telesales is truly doing what is in their budget. If you're trying to build a policy that they can't truly pay for, welcome to the pain of getting sent to collections as an insurance agent because you didn't factor this in. This is why I want you to find this out early on. Chargebacks are part of it. You got to understand it's a small segment, and don't focus on the chargebacks. You need to be focusing as a powerful producer to charge forward. If you've got 10 policies every week and two fall off, you're not going to lose sleep over this. Sincerely focus. Just think, I got to move forward. Don't focus on going backwards when you get beat up with the occasional chargeback. Just remember, around 20% is average for a really good agent. Now, number two that you're not always told about in this industry is contestability. All right. This is why it's so important to partner right, to have good, powerful folks in your life that can really help you navigate this business. And we do recruit and partner with powerful agents and agencies nationally to partner together here to sell life insurance, Medicare insurance, and yes, annuities face-to-face and in the telespace. And when contestability takes place, all the agents can immediately call me. The agencies can call me and say, hey, Jason, we got a contested claim. What do I do? Because a lot of times agents have never experienced this. You sell the policies and you don't know what happens on the back end, kind of like the Wizard of Oz. Is it a big scary monster behind the curtain, or is it something I should really worry about? It's really not a big deal, but this is why you've got a contestability clause on every policy that you sell. Just means if you're writing level business in the first 2 years, the insurance company, if they die prematurely, if they die before 2 years, they can roll back and look at every medical record that they can get their hands on to say, did that person give honest and accurate responses on the health insurance or on the life insurance application. This is a big thing. When they're filling out the health app, right? Do I have this? No. Do I have this? No. Do I have heart disease? No. Do I have COPD? No. If the client's medical records and their health history is completely different than what was on that application, you're going to get hit with a contested claim, meaning you're going to get hit with a full chargeback if the company rescinds the policy. That means they reverse that life insurance policy and give the family the money back that was paid in premium, not the big death benefit, which is bad for the family for sure. This is why it's so important that we make sure that the consumers are being honest and accurate to every health response so that the right checks are delivered when that time comes. But you got to understand every company has 2 years to be able to turn back the father time, the clock, and go look at their medical records. And that living, breathing person is gone. Now the family gets to find out, sometimes the hard way, if the insured was lying on anything. So contestability is something where they've got a suicide provision. If a person commits suicide in the first 2 years, the insurance companies won't pay out. Now, if they've had the policy longer than 2 years, you got nothing to worry about. But when you get a contested claim, it makes you really nervous. You're like, oh no, what did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong? No, you're using a voice application that has the living, breathing voice of the client over that phone. If you're doing final expense telesales, telling the company on a recorded line, no, I don't have HIV. No, I don't have congestive heart failure. So you're not at risk here. But the family is going to be feeling that negativity if that was not the truth from the client. Now, you as the insurance agent, this is where the pain comes. If the company rescinds the policy, every dollar you were paid in that first 2 years, even if it was 23 and a half months later, is going to be required for you to pay it back. So if you got a $2,000 sale and the person lied on the application, yeah, that money that hit your purse, that money that hit your wallet is going to walk its way right back to the company. And that's not a lot of fun. So if you ever get a contested claim, have a good battle buddy that can say, hey, it's probably 5, 6 questions. It's going to ask you this, ask you that. Not a big deal. Be honest always, be accurate always in what took place, and then send it back to the company, and it's all right. It's part of the industry. Contested claims are part of an industry where maybe you're writing hundreds of policies a year or maybe even thousands in the course of your career. It's massive, but you got to know this before you jump into this industry. So little short video for you, but I hope you now understand how chargebacks work and how contestability can be really something that's not a big deal, but you want to take some little steps in the beginning to make sure that your consumer understands that every response needs to be accurate because the cost to the family is way too great. So make sure we just take care of good people. That's all that matters. If you focus forward, when a little chargeback comes, not a problem. Just don't stop. Just sell another policy. And if you do get a contested claim, also, not a problem. Focus forward. Go take care of other good people that you can bring value to because you can't control someone else. You can only control you. I hope this helps you, my friends. If you need any free resources, jasonfinalexpense.com. I'll also put some videos up here that may be a blessing to you to help you not get beat up by chargebacks because maybe the billing was off by a little bit. I will see you soon.